Heyo. We're live at the top of every hour, and today we have guests from Microsoft, Haivision, VidPresso, Broadcast Management Group, and many, many more.
But we get to start our morning with two brilliant, young, scrappy co-directors of broadcast engineering, which to me means they work well with others. Ryan Gordon and Aaron Fulmer from Cheddar, which is the leading post-cable network that takes a unique and live approach to news in technology, media, and entertainment. They're broadcast daily from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, studios in their State Street, Manhattan headquarters, the historic glass prow of the Flatiron Building, also in Manhattan, with an expansion to Los Angeles and soon to go international. We'll talk about that. Cheddar is a live linear OTT network with ambient viewing everywhere. They have exclusive CEO and founder interviews and profiles of the technologies and companies transforming our lives. But let's get started with the two engineers who built it.
Hey
guys.
How's it going, Aubrey?
Yeah. So, welcome, first of all, start of NAB. How excited are you?
Very excited.
Yeah.
A lot to see.
Lot to see. It's a big show. It's a big show every year. It's a big show this year. So let's talk Cheddar. Let's take it back to the very beginning where it all started on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. Let's talk about when you guys both joined the company. What it looked like, what the studio looked like, what the company looked like, how many employees, and then talk about where we got to from there.
Yeah, so I mean, when I joined, it was early days of Cheddar. I joined in March of 2016. Kind of walked across the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, saw this little booth set up with cheese on it, and was like, what's going on over here, you know? Yeah. Talked to John, our CEO, Peter, our chief content officer, and I saw like some cameras, I saw some gear, and that was where LiveX came in and was brought in, you know, in the early days of Cheddar to help build all of that. And I joined, you know, as like the fifth employee, depends on how you look at it, but.
Yeah. And then I came shortly after in like late May, June. That was after the company had started doing a couple Facebook Lives, right when the product launched. And I was like, again, sort of sparked my interest, was like, okay, what's going on? What are these guys doing?
Yeah.
Also worked at CNBC at the time, so saw them on the floor of the exchange. And then pop ship.
Yeah, it was a super fun project. Actually, Rob, the tech director right now, and I got to work on that when it started, and that was it was a very.
You actually messed up the audio off the top. I didn't actually bring in the audio there, so it's my bad.
Oh, okay.
Live production.
Well,
it happens.
First one of the show, off to a great start. So that's where we started. Where are you guys now? So you had one small studio which lived right next to the actual master control room. It was all right there on the floor of the exchange. And what does the company look like now?
I guess after that, you know, we had the entire control room. As you guys know, you helped us build the entire control room on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. We wanted to expand, grow that Flatiron studio, and it made sense to centralize all of our control rooms in our offices downtown. So we basically started building out control rooms at 1 State Street, where our office is, and kind of went from there.
Right. I mean, and we just iterated, every single time. So we had built the first one, and now we have like the second one, and that was like holding up Cheddar. And now with the launch of this new channel, Cheddar Big News. So we're building out a third currently right now for that.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
And so the two right now are on State Street.
Yep.
Right next to each other.
All control rooms are now on State Street.
All on State Street, building the third.
Awesome.
Yep, we launched a fourth. We like skipped from like 1, 2 to 4.
Yeah.
Because 3 was in production, but it's our new nano control room that we call it.
Nano control room.
Nano control.
Okay. Why is it nano control room?
So it's really just like a smaller converted room. We're using the Ross carbonite.
Okay. Yeah.
Or no, sorry,
Graphite.
The graphite. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean the graphite basically, if you don't know it, it's like kind of an all-in-one production system. In our larger rooms, we have kind of all separate components. We have expression, we have a switcher, all separate audio boards. The graphite is it's really like a TriCaster kind of competitor, I would look at it as, but has the carbonite engine and all of that engine in it. So we built this small room. It basically is ran by 2 people. It's ran by like a producer, like an editorial person who also is scrolling prompter, and then a tech person who's doing audio. I mean, much like what Rob's doing.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right
a one-man band over there.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, very similar.
Yeah. So how much involvement do you guys have with building the studios themselves as well?
A ton.
A ton, yeah. So
Yeah.
what challenges have you faced? So both your Flatiron building location and your stock exchange location are studios in highly trafficked areas. They are public locations. What we've kind of felt that just ourselves in this booth. You're trying to build a studio that looks as nice on camera as it does off camera, because you have people looking at it. It needs to look.
Yeah.
It can have the cool effects of it's a raw studio, but at some point you have to keep it nice and tidy. What have you guys challenges or things you've overcome?
You
for
guys
that?
know well too. Building a studio on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange in a small footprint. We're honored to have that footprint we have, but of course it's a small, for instance, in TV terms, small space. Obviously, it's an active trading floor, so we can't have blaring lights. We can't be super distracting. There's people all around us who have a job to do, an important job to do. So that's something that's kind of a challenge for us.
Yeah, and then the latest redesign, actually, we redid the whole post and put something a little more permanent there
Awesome, yeah.
just lately. And it's funny, I mean,
With the big banner over
the
it,
big
right?
LED
Yeah,
banner
it's
that goes
awesome.
around.
It's so
really-
cool,
it's
yeah.
really cool. And we, got to permanently fix all of the lighting and the cameras and everything into it. But it's funny, like on that project, we're talking with set designers and we're stressing and like overly stressing, like this has to look as good from behind the camera, right? Like all
Exactly.
aspect of it has to be like 360 degrees. We have a cool banner over the top as people walk on like the balcony up there.
Yeah.
So you have to like think about that whole space. Similar to the Flatiron too.
Yeah, and you've got a piece of artwork in the Flatiron too behind you. Is that still there?
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
share this space with basically an art installation that they change out. Like I think it's every quarter. So it's definitely a challenge. It definitely adds an element that's really cool to our set, but definitely sometimes a challenge to incorporate that and make the shots work and for blocking. So
Yeah, well, you're doing a great job at it. The show looks great. Yeah, no, it's exciting to see. It really is. So let's talk, you're scaling up, acquisition. What gear are you getting when you scale up? What's the cost effective for what you guys are doing? And it's going to allow you to have these one-man band operations when you need them for your nano control room.
yeah, I mean, I think we kind of figured out a method that kind of worked for us at some point when we decided to centralize all of our control rooms, our one control room back to State Street. We kind of went with like, okay, we want to use a Ross switcher. We really like the Ross line of carbonites, and we kind of went with like certain audio and certain pieces, and now we're kind of just replicating that and scaling it. And right, I mean, what would you say?
No, I mean, yeah, for the most part, I mean, we keep those like couple core things, carbonite, expression, all the dashboard functionality that's like all tied in. That allows us to give a huge leg up. Just right, I mean, we build it, install, we already have like a base ready. But every little project brings something different. Like in the latest one for CBN, we're doing automation. So we're putting IzRT's Mozart automation layer
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
on top of everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's been a super interesting thing to take on. And it's been a cool challenge and it's working out really well.
Are you going to go by their booth later?
IzRT?
Yeah. Have you already been? Did you pass them on the way in, or?
Yeah,
passed
we
them,
we
You
like
passed them on the way.
tried to
Okay.
run through as many things as possible.
Yeah, on the way here.
We're like standing outside before they're gonna let us in at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Ryan's streaming the Black Magic show. So we're like, all right, what can we talk about? What are they doing?
Yeah.
And I'm like looking up, like Googling stuff, like, okay.
Go. Yeah.
How was the
things
Black
going
Magic show?
It was good.
It was good?
It was really good.
Very good?
There's a couple interesting things that
Yeah.
kind of, I think, will help us out. We're really interested in their studio cameras.
Yes, the
Versus
new 4K.
broadcast.
Yeah.
We're building out a studio,
Yep.
another thing we're doing
Yep.
right now in the middle of doing. So
Yeah.
obviously looking at cameras, looking at
Yeah.
all of that. So that's kind of catching my eye.
Yeah, I mean, our whole studio is Ursa's, and we like them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, worth it. Let's talk about financial data, though, that you have to bring into all these shows. You're on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. You have financial data you have to bring in. What are you guys using to do that? So.
Yeah, so for that, we're using a combination of things, actually. So it's, Ross Expression is still driving all of that. And we work with a really cool company called Bannister Lake. They're based out of Canada. They do like sort of one-off code installations.
Oh, okay.
They actually wrote us like a server and a GUI application, and it's so cool. It's really just as easy as like typing in AAPL and hit like 4-month chart generate, and it just like, will animate straight into the Ross engine and push it up.
Are you the only people using that company right now? Like, they
It's a
built it for
few of
you?
I think there's a couple others of these floating around for
Okay.
other financial companies. But Bannister is doing, all kinds of stuff.
And they
Okay.
work with us to do custom stuff.
Yeah,
all the
custom
time.
stuff. That's awesome.
And
Yeah.
It's specialized. That's not a whole lot of people out there that do financial
No, it's not.
data integration
No.
into graphics, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And if they are, they're broadcast that have been doing it for years and years and
Right.
years. And
Right.
they're
I mean,
gonna
how
use
many
the same
financial
system.
news networks are there in the U.S.? Not a ton.
Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah. The one other distinguishing thing is using like Exignite for that, which you know they have like a very good, well-documented API, which made it easy for Bannister Lake to just like quickly leverage that,
So true.
turn it into a product. Yeah.
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 Awesome. So then let's talk about the delivery of all of your content. So you deliver to through multiple channels, to multiple Roku, Sling TV, YouTube TV, Facebook Live. With all the different requirements for delivery, how are you guys distributing?
It can be challenging.
Yeah.
For sure. We use a lot of, we're an internet company. We're a cloud-based infrastructure. We do a lot of Zixi streaming, so it's IP MPEG transport streams. We have an entire Zixi infrastructure that so that's really our main delivery format for OTT platforms. The Slings of the world and all of those OTT providers.
Yep.
It's becoming more and more adopted to be able to just take IP feeds in.
Yep.
So we do a lot of that. What else?
Doing a little bit of HLS.
Okay.
So that's like what our main website's being driven off of, cheddar.com. Roku app, Apple TV apps.
Yeah.
So
You guys are on Apple TV now too?
We
I
have an
missed
app.
that.
We have
Oh,
an
you have an
Apple
app
TV.
on Apple TV.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So we have an in-house dev team.
That's cool.
Now,
Oh, wow.
Geez, how many people? 10 people now?
I would just get it wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, I want
Five or
to say it grows every day.
Now list all of them. Just
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
in-house dev team who develops our Roku, develops our Apple TV, our iOS, our Android, they develop all of that in-house.
awesome.
And they're top-notch.
Yeah. What has that expansion meant for the engineering team? You guys are obviously the co-directors. How big is the team that you guys have?
We got 2 other guys,
Okay.
Matt and Will, back at the office.
And shout 'em out.
Holding down the fort.
Yeah, putting out a million
They
fires.
better be watching.
Yeah. No, they should be.
they
They
wanna
should be
get-
putting out
They
fires.
should be putting out fires.
Yeah. So we got that going on, and then recently with Cheddar Big News, we're leveraging a lot of our studio assets and just doing more like quick hits through them. So like DC hits, LA. We're now doing I think like 6 to 8 across
Wow.
both networks at each. We have a post 11 camera down there now, so we have
Oh.
a floating robotic camera off a post that we can also like use while
Like
we're
a
on
stand-up
set.
position on the New York Stock Exchange floor away from our main set.
Oh, cool.
Because we have so much content, we need to do so many live hits for
Yeah.
both channels now. We need as
Wow.
many cameras and as many
Yeah.
stand-ups as we can possibly get.
Right. So one of the things we're focusing on now is a transmission production coordinator.
Oh.
That's like
okay.
our big
Yeah.
new thing is like making sure
gotta-
everyone is like in spot, and, has a good IFB, is checked in, is color corrected.
Yeah.
As
Coordinating
that's, like,
producer. Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
I mean, along with that too, Cheddar proper, the Cheddar original channel does about 30 guests a day. I believe that number's correct. So a lot of those guests are remote. They're in studios. They're via satellite. They're
Yeah.
via Skype.
Yeah. I mean, we're actually watching you guys right now.
Yeah.
This is happening live.
Jessica Biel.
So
There we
Jessica
go.
Biel on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange.
I
Right.
didn't even know we're having her on. That's
I
awesome.
know. What is she doing on the floor of the New York? Oh, she's an entrepreneur.
She's
Good for her.
interviewing for Cheddar.
Yeah,
on
interviewing
Cheddar.
for
Yeah,
Cheddar.
For Cheddar. Yeah, she wants to
But
work.
it's
She
just,
wants
I
a
mean,
job.
it's just so cool. You look, and it just surprises me the guests and the caliber that we get. Like it's incredible.
Yeah.
And it's just only getting better.
Yeah.
That's Well, you have a name for yourselves, so people want to come on. They want to be there. Yeah. That's
We
exciting.
have some good locations, like we said.
Yeah.
Stock Exchange.
Speaking of locations, you just had a Series D funding round,
Yeah.
and there's international expansion. Can
Yep.
you talk about where?
Can't talk about a ton of it.
Okay.
Europe is where we're looking.
Okay.
I know that's super broad. We're looking to, partner with somebody.
Okay.
A couple of different people. We're talking to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in
And-
the latest Series D, there was a lot of international media companies
Yeah.
taking part. So nothing to like announce out of that yet, other than it's still the core Cheddar mantra, which is just getting everywhere and in front of everyone, and as
Yeah.
much as possible.
As many eyes as possible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We are live. I will mention. We've already done a little bit of European expansion. We're on Molotov TV in
Oh.
France, and we're on TV Player in the UK. So that's kind of like
Very
something already
fun.
like happened, and now we're just
European like OTT platforms. Yeah.
gonna OTT.
Yeah.
So we're gonna keep just pushing on that.
That's awesome. Well, we're at NAB. What are you guys excited about seeing here? What booths are you going to head to right when we let you leave?
I'm always excited. We already mentioned Blackmagic.
Yeah.
Always excited. They always release a plethora of really innovative stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, we try to cut corners with a lot of things that we do and try to, cost savings is a huge thing. So Blackmagic is huge. What else? What do you?
Yeah, I mean that just fits into everything. And then general knowledge, just kind of trying to find, talk to vendors about like WebRTC, low latency streaming, seeing what the roadmap is on like some of those vendors, and then checking in with the normal, our vendors.
The usual suspects.
The usual
Ross,
suspects, yeah. Just keeping those relationships up,
Yeah,
definitely.
exactly. And they're all releasing new products. Ross came out.
Oh
with a bunch
yeah,
of stuff
everyone's
that we're really
going.
excited
Yeah.
about. So.
Yeah.
I know,
Awesome.
exactly. Like I said, we were Googling, and now we're like
All the
trying to
press
figure out our
releases,
game.
like
yeah,
Yeah.
there were so many that came out in the last couple. I mean,
Right.
expected, but also
they all
a
release
lot.
them like right at 9 or
Yeah. With Blackmagic's early, was it 2 months ago that they had the giant? They released a bunch of stuff. We were like, what are they going to leave for NAB?
know.
Come on,
Yeah,
guys.
I know.
We have the 1ME Advanced panel here that we're using that just came out about 2 months ago, but we're excited to go see what else they've got
Yeah.
at their booth
Oh, yeah.
now.
I got
yeah.
a question here. What do you guys think of the new Clearcaster from Wowza?
We have been looking at the Clearcaster.
Yeah?
I will be completely transparent. We've looked at it. I've
Yeah.
talked to the Wowza team. We have a pretty good relationship with those guys. We use the streaming engine for a bunch of stuff that we do. But looking at the Clearcaster, am I right that it's going to do more than Facebook Live?
Yes.
That's right.
Just
They're
announced
about
it, like,
to-
this morning,
yeah.
right?
Now we're really interested.
That was, speaking of press
They're
releases.
just
Now we're
announcing.
really interested.
They're just announcing simulcasting to more than Facebook Live, and using
Yeah.
Engine for a lot of things as well. So I think it'll be really cool.
Now you've really caught our attention.
No, I know.
because-
That and the redundancy feature, right? I think that was another new one this morning of having two that can fail over in Facebook. Because
Yeah.
obviously that's like such a crucial part.
And the talent view.
It's literally
monitor that
the
you
only
guys
way
use.
to do redundancy to Facebook.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's huge. The talent view that you guys use too
Yes.
for your shows.
It's awesome.
That
We've loved
catching
using
my eye.
Clearcaster on Ready Take Live.
yeah,
It
I
makes
mean,
it so much easier. It makes it for a clean show on Facebook for us every time.
No, it's the cleanest way to go up. So
Yeah.
now that it goes multiple places, super
Yeah.
interested.
Well,
I'll go.
I'm sure they'll be happy
it
to
up.
talk to
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Audio check. Thanks, Chris. A
Yeah, but
competition.
like Brian said too, we use the streaming engine for a lot. In the cloud-based,
Yeah.
doing a lot of HLS and final delivery and packaging.
Yeah.
And the Wowza CDN too. So it's
Awesome.
super easy to set up.
It is. It is. It's a great company.
Yeah.
Not just saying that because we're on their Facebook page. Well, thank you guys so much for coming in, for starting your morning with us.
Of course.
And thank you guys for watching Studio Sessions live from the Wowza booth at NAB Show 2018. Catch us back at noon with KHQ.